Thank you for the intro, Mark. So good afternoon, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into today's seminar. So initially, I had intended to do a seminar just about Facebook and Facebook ads, speaking about my experiences on Facebook ads and sharing some general hints and tips and wisdom on how to maximize your use of Facebook ads and get the best results. However, as the seminar was moved online, there have been some relevant changes to Facebook ads and your use of Facebook during a virus outbreak. So I thought I'd make it a little bit more relevant. And today's seminar will be split into two parts. The first sort of 30 to 40%, I'm going to speak about some of the changes on Facebook that has resulted from the virus outbreak. And then I'm going to be talking about Facebook ads in general, some of the different campaign types. Then right at the end, I've got some amazing value for you guys with some real nuggets of wisdom that I picked up from all of my experience with Facebook ads and some really cool insider tips and tricks and hacks that you guys can implement right away if you're running Facebook ads for your business or you intend to, which should help you get some really great results on the platform. So before I get into it, it's worth me giving yourselves a very brief biography of myself and a little bit about my background. So I've been managing an agency called GYB, which stands for Grow Your Business. I've been running this agency for around 3 years now. We specialize in Facebook ads rather than a social media marketing agency. To be honest, 95% of our work is on Facebook and around Facebook ads. So during that time, we've been able to deliver around 5 million plus in revenue for our clients. Now that's extremely significant because a lot of our clients are very small businesses. And we work with a lot of startups as well. So I'm sure a lot of startups and small businesses, if they were to even get 10% of that revenue spread across the next 3 years, it would be huge for them to meet all of their objectives. So for us, it's really great to work with small businesses that have such a significant and strong impact on their revenue and on their objectives, all just through some of the work we're doing on Facebook and Facebook ads. We've also worked in a multitude of sectors. So we work with businesses. One of our specialities is e-commerce businesses. We also work with a lot of health and beauty salons, dental practices, and then food businesses are a big speciality of ours. But we have brands and businesses in the professional sector. We even work with car washes. So it's a real range of businesses. And any business that's either B2C or B2B targeting small businesses, there's absolutely no reason why they can't gain huge benefit or scale their business using the Facebook ads platform. So, and during this time in total, I've directly created over 3,000 social media ad campaigns. So during that time, you do pick up one or two things about how best to craft your ads and what things will help your ads perform the best. So I'm going to be sharing some of that wisdom with you guys today. So let's get straight into it. So first thing first, some of the key changes that have occurred on Facebook since the virus outbreak. So number one is the number of daily users that are active on the platform has went up. Obviously, there's a lockdown in so many countries across the world. So what that means is people are at home and they're spending a lot more time on their phones and a lot more time on Facebook. So it means people are checking the news feed more often, and it means that overall the number of viewers potentially for your ads or your content on Facebook is a lot higher than it typically would be. As a result of that, you've also seen that the ad reach has now gone, the cost per ad reach has now gone down. So what that means is if you were to run an ad on Facebook, and for example, you were to put £10 behind that ad as a budget, previously if that £10 would get you 10,000 views, now you could be expected to get 14 to 15,000 views on that ad from Facebook users purely because of the cost per reach dropping down. Now, the reason why the cost per reach for ads has dropped down is because a lot of advertisers have stopped advertising on Facebook. So there's many businesses that are just simply not in operation, so they're unable to provide their normal level of service. Therefore, they're no longer, so I'm not sure where these annotations are coming from. But anyways, we'll carry on. So as a result of that, they're able to deliver a really low cost per reach for any ads that you're running on the Facebook ads platform right now. Then the final change is organic reach. Some people have said that organic reach is getting better. So that means when you post a piece of content on your Facebook page or your Instagram account without putting any budget behind it, Some people are saying that in their experience, they're getting a better reach. But to be honest, from all of the accounts we're working on, we find it's the same, if not lower. The reason being is when it comes to organic content, although there are a lot more people looking at the platform, that's been balanced out by the level of activity on the platform. And what I mean by that is there are a lot more people posting on Facebook. People are wanting to talk about the virus or just general updates because they're at home and they want to post. So it's kind of balanced things out with organic content. But as far as ads are concerned, there's 100%, at least a 30 to 40% better cost per reach now than previously as a result of the virus outbreak, and a lot of advertisers running significantly less ads. Okay, so now I'm going to delve into what you should do with that information. How does that affect you as a business owner or key decision maker for an organization? And how should you then do things differently on Facebook and using Facebook ads? So first of all, I'm going to speak a little bit about for businesses that are unable to operate right now. So if due to the lockdown, you're unable to provide your service as usual or provide your product as usual, these are some of the things that I would recommend you definitely should do. And I don't just mean this during the lockdown period. This could be during the entire period that the virus is out there and things are being affected, consumer spend is reduced, and all of the other effects that occur as a result of the virus outbreak. So number one is build a social following. So this is a great time, because that cost per ad reach is down. This is a perfect time for your business to start building a following on social media. And this is a concept that we call social proofing. If you have a brand or a business and you have a great following on social media with loads of people interacting with all of your pieces of content, it's a great credibility tool. People are going to come in and say, wow, this looks cool. Loads of people are interested in it. Loads of people are engaging with this business. There must be something great that's happening here. Second of all, for very early stage businesses and startups, a lot of people will use their social media following as a demonstration of traction. So for example, as part of their pitch deck or their business plan, they might say, we have X amount of followers on Instagram and X amount of followers on Facebook. Now's a great time for you to flesh out that following, because you're going to get a much better, lower cost per reach. And a great way to build a Facebook page following, a number of ways. One is a competition or a giveaway. Another great way is something called a page like campaign. Now, a page like campaign, if you Google a page like campaign, there's plenty of guides on how to build a page like campaign using the Facebook ad manager. I'll go into that into a little bit more detail later as I speak about different campaign types, but it's a really effective way to build the likes on your page. And you can also use it for some market research, which then brings me on to my second point. Use this time to do some market research and get some customer feedback. So many businesses, really disappointing to see that because they're not providing the usual product or service, all they've done on social media or Facebook is post to say, sorry, we're not open until further notice. We'll get back to you when we're back open. Now, that's a hugely missed opportunity right there, because there's so many people on the platform that you could be providing value to. You could be speaking to them about your product or service. You could be building your following. You could be giving them out free nuggets of information, but you're missing out on all of that just because you put a pinned post up saying you're closed. Use this time to also do some market research. If you're an existing business, you're looking to bring a new product line in there, why not put it out there, put the suggestion out there, and you can spend a very small amount of money. Again, I'll speak about specific ad examples at the end of the presentation. You can spend a very small amount of money, anywhere between £5 to £10, and from that, if your audience targeting is right, you can get some great feedback on this new product or service you're launching. And if you're a startup and you're pre-revenue, again, you can get some really good feedback on your business idea and find out whether the consumer actually wants what you're proposing or whether there's some changes that you need to make fundamentally with your product or service. And we've done this many times with various different businesses, and it's been really effective to get customer feedback and market research in a really intuitive way. Another thing you can do is build a mailing list. I think Mark touched on this on his presentation. I managed to catch the back end of that, so I won't go too much into that. But there's great ways on Facebook that you can build a mailing list. So if you want a whole lot of subscribers, a great example would be if you're an accountancy firm and you're targeting small business owners. One of the things you can do is you can run an ad campaign saying, we've developed an amazing guide demonstrating the 7 biggest mistakes that small business owners make when it comes to their end of year accounts or when it comes to their finances. Download it for free here. And then have a link to the download of that PDF. Now that's pretty much applicable to any service-based business. You can give some really great value away there. You get subscribers to your mailing list. You've introduced your brand to a cold audience. and later you can send them further emails. And more importantly, if they need an accountant, so long as your piece of information, your PDF, is credible with lots of great information on there, people will come back and they call you when they need some accountant servicing. The fourth thing I've got on the list there is interact with your customers. Be active. To completely waste this opportunity is not a great idea, in my opinion, because there's a lot of people on the platform, as I've said. So get some interaction going, have some fun on the platform. We've been posting some alternative content with a lot of our clients, not just competitions, but cool little quizzes, things to keep people busy. People want to engage in activity. A lot of people are facing boredom right now. So it's a great time to do something fun. It doesn't have to be a huge giveaway sometimes. Sometimes it can be a competition where there's not a huge prize involved, but it's just about people getting involved and having a little bit of fun on your Facebook page. Final thing I've mentioned is innovate. Try and do something different. Here's 4 kind of basic ideas that I've gave without giving a huge long list, but there are many other things that you guys can do to keep your Facebook page active and to build your social following, build your business, and get things ready for when you are back in operation. You're better equipped than what you were prior to the virus outbreak. It's about looking at the positives and making the most of this period of time and seeing if you can utilize it to build a following so that when you are back to full operation and back into the swing of things, you can maximize on revenue and sales. Okay, so for businesses in operation, my advice to you guys is very simple. Run ads. If you haven't run Facebook ads before, or you have run it previously, now's the best time. You probably won't get a time like this again. Who knows when. It is really unprecedented, the virus that we're facing. So as a result of that, as I said multiple times, many advertisers have stopped running their ad campaigns because they simply can't fulfill the demand. And there are a lot of industries right now that are on the up, which I'm going to speak about in the next slide. But this is the perfect time for you to delve into Facebook ads and test the waters. I'm going to talk about some campaigns that you guys can launch for beginners and for advanced users as well, with some hints and tips in there. So if you do want to wet your business with Facebook ads and give it a little bit of a trial, I'll give you some hints and tips on that before we finish the presentation. So briefly to touch on industries on the up. So these are some industries that, as a result of the virus outbreak, they're actually facing an increase in demand for their product or service. One of the number one industries is food. Some of my food clients right now, some of the revenue figures they're doing, for example, I'm working with a food outlet that's been established for 12 years. And in the last month, they've done figures that they've never done before, which is incredible if you think about it. 12 years of hard work and food's something that's completely out of their control, and now facing the best figures they've ever had. And there's a huge demand for food and drink. People are at home all the time. That's not just for food outlets. That's also for e-commerce businesses as well. So if you're a food brand or a drink brand and you have an online e-commerce system, this is definitely a time to maximize on it. It's also applicable to businesses that sell vitamins and minerals, any health and wellness related products. They're all facing a huge demand right now, and a lot of people are engaging with them. That also moves me on to health and exercise. Anyone that's selling health programs, online exercise programs, anything in the health, fitness and wellness area, whether it's yoga, meditation, or even motivational courses, if it's business development, personal development courses, if you're selling webinars or coaching sessions, a lot of people are seeing them on the up now, especially for people that are in paid employment, as they're still receiving their salaries, but they have a lot of spare time on their hands. So they're looking to try and utilize that time to really upskill themselves. So when they go back into employment, they're a bit better equipped, or maybe they've got all this free time now and they realize that being employed is not what they want. They prefer to have a more flexible lifestyle. So a lot of people are looking at personal development, business development programs. So anybody that sells that kind of thing, this is a great time to capitalize on that. And then also e-commerce. So if you have an e-commerce website, if your product is sold online, whether it's, I don't know, a furniture-based business through to a business that sells t-shirts, there's a lot more eyes and there's a lot more traffic. I know delivery couriers. I've got a friend who works for a international delivery courier. He messaged me asking if anyone was looking for work because they're seeing an unprecedented amount of deliveries. Loads of people are ordering online deliveries. Also, our e-com clients have all seen an increase in traffic, and they've all seen significant revenue increases. That's right the way from businesses that are selling e-cigarettes all the way through to businesses that are selling car products to general lifestyle products. Everybody's seeing an increase in their revenue because of this, so it's another great time to start running ads, get people engaged with your business, and potentially also, if you're in operation, get some sales in the bag as well. Okay, so moving on, that's the kind of virus specific information done. I'm now going to speak about specific Facebook campaign types. Now, I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail because it would take a lot of time, but I'm going to give you some nuggets of wisdom and also some real life examples for each of the campaign types. There are way more campaign types than this that are available to use on the Facebook Ad Manager, but I picked what I believe, in my opinion, are the 6 best campaigns. I believe there's 6 there. The 6 most effective campaigns, and any business can use these type of campaigns, no matter what results you're looking for on Facebook and Facebook ads. One of these 6 campaigns will deliver them results for you. So the best way to run any sort of Facebook ad campaign very quickly is to go to business.facebook.com. So go on to business.facebook.com, make sure you have a business manager account set up, an ad account set up, and create all of your ads from the Ads Manager platform. There are plenty of guides online that cover how to use Business Manager, how to use the Ad Manager, how to work your way around it. My best advice is to just start playing with the platform, start moving around there, start checking out all the different pages and options, and eventually you'll start to get familiar with the setup. It's a pretty easy system to navigate around, a little bit more difficult to scale and get results from, but the basic navigation is pretty simple. So first type of campaign is traffic campaigns. Traffic campaigns are great if you want to send a whole load of traffic to your online store or your website. So like I mentioned, that mailer list before, if you're trying to build your mailing list, traffic campaign is a great way to do that. So for example, the accountancy objective, you might look on Facebook audiences and you might target people who are self-employed, target people who have had an interest in small businesses or anything related to small businesses. Have a great ad, as I mentioned, saying 7 top tips or 7 biggest mistakes that small business owners make during their first year when it comes to finance. Have that ad out there. If you're a law firm, you can say 7 biggest legal mistakes that small businesses make that cost them thousands. People are going to click on that. If I'm a small business owner, I'm always looking for free nuggets of wisdom. And if you're going to tell me there's potential huge mistakes that I can make that might cost me thousands of pounds, I'm going to click on your PDF and I'm going to download it. But as a result of giving that free value out, you're then getting their contact details and their emailing list, so you can provide them additional value at a later date. The second type of campaign is page-like campaigns. So as I mentioned, if you want to build on your social proofing, you can build a page-like campaign. These are really easy, so long as you get the targeting right. If your business is selling Spider-Man hoodies, as an example, if it's that niche and specific, you can build and create a page-like campaign. So you have to go into create engagement campaign on Facebook Ads Manager. Then within that, there'll be an option for page-like campaign. You can target people who are interested in Spider-Man, interested in Marvel comics, interested in Marvel clothing. Build an ad campaign around that. Say, hey, do you like to wear Spider-Man hoodies? Something along the lines of, do you like to are you interested in Marvel and Marvel garments? Check out our Facebook page for loads of crazy content and some amazing giveaways in the future. Something basic like that. That was just off the top of my head. But you'll get a lot of people then liking your Facebook page because it's created in such a way that it has a huge like button across the bottom. People are then encouraged to click that like page. If anyone doesn't click the like button on that post and they actually like the post instead, a great thing that you can do is you can then click on everybody that's liked the post, and it'll come up with a little box that will say invite to like this page, and you can click and invite everybody. I would recommend doing this for all small business owners, even if you're running an engagement campaign or you're posting any sort of ads or you're doing any sort of giveaway. So people are liking that post but they haven't liked your page, click onto the post physically, click onto all of the names, make sure you invite them to like your page. That'll send them a small notification. If it was my page, it would say GUIB, I sent you an invite to like their page. Would you like to like their page? A lot of people will click yes, and you're building that social following, you're building that social proofing, and you're getting more followers on your Facebook page. The next type of campaign I'd recommend is engagement-based campaigns. Engagement-based campaigns are great for competitions, great for getting customer feedback. If you've launched a new business and you want to try and figure out what type of people are interested in it, you can show it to a specific audience type and judge the feedback. People are more honest on Facebook than any other platform. People are going to give you a lot more honest feedback online when they're not face to face. Sometimes when you're doing feedback exercises face to face, people are a lot more fairer. They'll give you all of the nice things you want to hear. On Facebook, that doesn't happen. You can get a lot of negative feedback, but sometimes that's great because you can use that as constructive criticism. If people are consistently saying the same things, is that something that you then need to address with your product or service to make it better? Is that something you need to change with your business? If people are constantly bringing the same thing up whenever you're running ads, saying it's too expensive, or how do I access this, or it sounds really complicated. Do you need to simplify your product? Do you need to bring your price down? Do you need to work on your offering? It's a great tool to do that. The next type of campaign is conversion-based campaign. This is where you make your serious money. The next 3 campaigns is where you're going to make your serious money from Facebook ads. Now, I've overseen campaigns which have delivered up to £10,000 in a single day through these types of free campaign objectives. So there's serious revenue to be gained from these campaigns once you know how to run them effectively. Now, conversion-based campaigns can be used get people to purchase your product or service through your website. Essentially, that's the biggest use of conversion-based campaigns. You can start a conversion-based campaign. I wouldn't recommend running it for any less than £5 to £10 a day, or that's just a really small taste of what you can get from conversion-based campaigns. And you can optimize it for link clicks or for sales, depending on the cost of your product and how much it costs to purchase your product. So that's what you would use if you want to really generate revenue and sales. I'll probably give some hints and tips and some nuggets of wisdom on conversion-based campaigns at the end of the presentation. It's really a fine art getting conversion-based campaigns to work. This is probably where most advertisers want to get the best results. Small business owners, this is where they want to get the best results on a conversion-based campaign. So as you can imagine, that's where you're going to face the most amount of competition from other Facebook advertisers, because people are spending the biggest budgets on this campaign type, no doubt about it. The next is lead generation campaign. So lead gen is great if you run a service-based business. It can sometimes work for product-based business as well if it's a high-value item and you can't sell your product to people on a first point of call. If your product is too expensive for people to see it and then instantly buy, you need to build a funnel. Again, I think Mark touched on that in the previous presentation, which is great, so I won't go into that in too much detail. But a funnel is essentially introducing a cold customer to your business and your brand first. Then at a second stage or a third stage, selling your product or service to them once they are warm customers and they know and they trust your brand or your product and your service offering. Lead generation can work great for businesses that have that, or even for businesses that require a little bit of consultation. So we run lead gen for, I've got a blinds company that I work with based in London. We've run some fantastic lead gen campaigns for them. So people are always wanting new blinds in their houses. So we've run some great lead gen campaigns for that. If you're, again, I'll use the example of an accountancy firm. If you're an accountancy firm, you might want to target such a niche as taxi drivers for end of year accounts. When it comes to the end of year accounts time, you can say if you've got your end of year accounts wrapped up, why not schedule a free consultation call with us all, where we can go through some great hints and tips for you to get that organized and give you a brief of what we can do for you. You're going to get a lot of leads if you schedule that, I don't know, a little bit March, February time as it gets close to April and end of year. There's lots of different types of lead gen campaigns that you can run. A lot of gym businesses run it as well. The great thing about a lead gen campaign is if people engage with your ad, it'll give them a little notification. They can either sign up or they can either learn more. That takes them straight to a form, and the form is on Facebook's platform. So it means the user doesn't have to leave Facebook. They don't have to go to your website or anything at all, but they can enter all of their information directly through the Facebook ads platform, and it generally pre-populates with all of the questions that you ask. So if you ask for full name, email address, contact number, Facebook already has that information. So when they click on sign up, it will already pre-populate that information. So it's a great way to get a lot of information from a user very quick, and it means you're likely to get a higher rate of leads. Then the final type of campaign is messaging campaign. Again, this is a really underused campaign objective on Facebook. It works brilliantly for some businesses. The same business that I mentioned, we used this for a blinds company. Alongside the lead gen campaign, we did a messaging campaign speaking about whether people were interested in getting new blinds. And on the back of that, we were getting around 5 to 7 appointments booked a day. Now, this is a small, very, very small business, one branch in London. They don't tend to do that volume of appointments through their entire kind of methods of marketing. So we've been delivering more than what they get organically, what they get from their general advertising, or through just one messenger campaign. So with a messenger campaign, you have your Facebook ad, and then it will encourage the user to then click to send a message to your business. You can then pre-populate and automate a whole lot of answers, which we had done. So when they pre-populate, it says, hi, looks like you're interested in getting some blinds. Can you tell me how many rooms are at your property? They would then answer that question and say, great, thanks for that. When are you available to meet? They would then schedule some availability. Say, thanks for that. Can you please drop us a contact number and we'll call you shortly to confirm your appointment. Then a business development manager from the company would then call them and say, we've got this appointment, can make it or can't make it, just to confirm a few things before we arrive. They're getting meetings every day from that messenger campaign. There's loads of businesses that this is also applicable to. Just think about your business, how you can proposition it, create a little messenger bot. It's very simple, just automated messages. Some of the questions that you might want to pre-qualify that customer with before you pick up the phone to them, capture their contact details as well. And then as soon as you receive that, you can then drop them a call. And people are getting really good cost per message on this as well, depending on the audience size that you're targeting and the nature of your business. So that covers the Facebook campaign types. I'm going to finish off being able to keep it in the sort of half an hour mark, which is quite good. I don't want to make it too long. I understand webinars, web-based seminars can get quite tiring if they're too long. So I'm going to finish off with some top tips for success on Facebook. So this is based on the 3,000 plus campaigns that I've built. This is based on the hundreds of thousands of pounds that I've spent on the ad platform. When you spend that level of money and you make that amount of ads, you do learn a lot about what works and what doesn't work. So I thought I'd give some very simple tips, but extremely effective tips, which are really valuable to any business owner or anyone who's spending money on the Facebook ads platform, that can be implemented at any level. First tip, we've had campaigns that were doing amazingly well, delivering significant revenue at the target cost, and then all of a sudden they drop off. Now, a lot of advertisers and a lot of business owners get really frustrated at that point. They disable the campaign, they never look back at it again, they start creating new campaigns, trying to rework the audiences, trying to rework the ad copy, trying to create new content, creating new videos, creating new pictures, looking at completely different strategies. Sometimes we've completely resurrected highly performing campaigns by inactivating them and then reactivating them 24 hours later, 48 hours later, sometimes several days later, a week later, and boom, they're performing again just like they were at the start. That's a really great tip to bear in mind. If you've had a campaign that's performed previously and it's all of a sudden stopped delivering results, don't give up on that campaign. You can maybe deactivate it and activate it at a later date. Another thing that you can also do is duplicate the campaign. We're always duplicating campaigns. If you've got a campaign that's working well at a certain budget, when you increase the budget, the results seem to drop off, you get a higher cost per reach, duplicate that campaign. It's a couple of clicks on Facebook, but you can have two campaigns running the identical ad, running to the identical audiences simultaneously, both performing results. Why would if you can get double the results for the exact same campaign, why not? So we've done that really effectively. Your audience doesn't have to be a big audience. It can't be a very, very small audience. If you've got an audience of a few thousand, 50,000, 100,000, it might not work as effectively. But if your audience is north of 1 million, no problem. You can run duplicate audience campaigns. So the same campaign multiple times, and it will still deliver results for you. Second tip, which a lot of small businesses really forget, is anytime you're running any sort of ad on Facebook, 80 to 85% of your users are viewing your ad on the mobile phone. You need to understand that. And what that means is when they see your ad, all they will see, unless they click to see more, is the first two lines of that ad. You can scroll through your Facebook page, your Facebook app right now on your phone, scroll through all the content, and every ad that you come across, all you're going to see is the first two lines of text. You're not going to see any more of that. So when you see advertisers with these kind of really outlandish or quite creative and out there headlines, there's a reason for that. As an advertiser, you have to capture attention from that headline. If you don't do that, no matter how great your product or service is, no matter how great your advert is, your offering is, you're going to lose the customer, because people don't log onto Facebook to see adverts. They don't necessarily log onto Facebook to buy a product or service. They log onto Facebook predominantly for social reasons, to interact with their friends and family. So if you want them to pay attention to your ad, you have to really grab their attention. You have to give them something of great value, and you have to give them something that will make them think, oh, I want to stop and I want to look at this advert. Something on the back of that to understand as well is every time you run an ad campaign, every time you run an ad campaign, Facebook will look at your audience and how it interacts with that ad. So every time someone scrolls through the newsfeed and all of a sudden stops, looks at your ad, Facebook will take a note of that individual. Every time someone clicks on your ads, Facebook will take a note of that individual. Every time someone makes a purchase, Facebook will most definitely take a look at that individual. And every time these interactions occur on your ads, Facebook's machine learning then implements that into the algorithm and starts to show your ads to people that are more likely to engage with it. So for example, you've got an audience size of 1 million and people from a specific age group or interested in specific interests keep stopping at your ad and looking at it. Facebook's going to take a note of that and say, okay, we need to show that ad to more people that are similar or have similar attributes to this individual. And Facebook knows a lot of information about people. We haven't got time to go into that now. Maybe on another day, another seminar, I'd love to tell you guys about all of the different targeting information on Facebook and how much Facebook does really know about its users. So Facebook can use that to ensure that ads are being seen by people that are genuinely interested in them. The next top tip I've got is use really broad audiences. There was a time on Facebook where really specific and narrowed audiences were the way to go. So if you were a gym, you would target people who are interested in exercise. You'd then narrow it down to people who are interested in dieting. You'd then add another targeting to narrow it down to people of a certain age demographic. If you're a bodybuilding gym, you'd add that on there today. You'd have loads of targeting options with a really narrowed audience, and it would perform amazingly well. That's simply not the case anymore. Now, the best performing audiences on Facebook are broad audiences, and especially if you have an ad account that's warmed up. So I've got some ad accounts, for example, where we've had thousands of purchases on there already through that specific ad account for that business. So now we're creating campaigns, and our audience targeting is simply just age and gender, nothing else. And there's a business, as an example, that sells a car part. That's the only targeting we've used. Even though it's not a mass market product, there are only specific people that will be interested in that. But because we've relied on Facebook's machine learning to learn who our target customer is, we don't want to limit that machine learning by adding lots of targeting options on top of it. We allow Facebook's smart algorithms to do the work and show the ads to the right people, and we've had insane results. So bear that in mind. If your specific audiences are not working for you right now, broad audiences are the way to go. The next top tip is use video. If you want serious revenue for your business, it's not going to happen with an image or a carousel ad. Actually, to be honest, I shouldn't say carousel ad, because in some instances, carousel ads do actually work really well. But if you want to deliver serious revenue to your business, where you want to have your ads delivering more than a few £100 a day in revenue, I've not been able to do that for a campaign without it being backed by video. So particularly if you're an e-com, this is specifically for e-com. It's not as applicable to service-based businesses, but if you're an e-com and you sell your product or your service online, you need a video, because you can give users a lot more information in a video. People are watching videos a lot more than they are interacting with images. There's a lot of data and stats around that. You can go and do your research. Facebook will tell you itself the best performing type of campaign is a video-backed campaign. The running conversion campaigns with a great video, and you want to invest in that video. Sometimes people try to use amateur videos. Honestly, it's worth spending, if you have the budget, £1,000 to £3,000, getting a great video put together with some great editing. It's going to make your brand look really credible and presentable online. And you could, with the right type of campaign and results, if your product is good enough, you can easily generate that in a day's of Facebook ads once you have the campaign scaled up. So strongly recommend and urge every business owner, especially those that are e-coms, to invest in some amazing video content specifically designed for their ads. So not general videos. Don't be lazy and go to your website. If you
We appear to have lost you, Hasan. I don't know if you've got internet problems.
With the last tip, and then we can take any questions. So the final tip that I wanted to give you guys is to understand and implement retargeting. So when you're running your Facebook ad campaigns, if you're getting people going through to your website, if you're getting people interacting with your ad, and you're running, specifically if you're running a conversion-based campaign, you're missing out on your best performing campaigns. Any campaign that, if you're running multiple campaigns, traffic, conversion, lead gen, your best performing campaigns by a long stretch will always be your retargeting campaigns. So you can retarget people who've visited your website, you can retarget people who've added your product to their cart, you can retarget people who've interacted with your ads on your Facebook page and show them either the same ad or slightly different ad. Testimonials and reviews sometimes work great in that instance, just to give them a bit more value. And these campaigns will always guaranteed be your strongest performing campaigns and give you the best returns on your investment, or what we call in Facebook terms, return on ad spend. So I think we're about at the 40-minute mark there, so I'll stop there. There's my contact information on there. If anybody does wish to contact me, have a little bit of a further chat about Facebook ads, I do offer consultation. So if you just want a little bit of advice, you don't want to outsource your Facebook ads, you want to book an hour's consultation just to get some specific advice for your business and help map out the strategy, I do offer that as a service as well. Or if you want to completely outsource the management of your ads and you want a specialist on that, I do have that as well. You feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, call me on any of the relevant numbers, or drop me an email, and I'm happy to take any questions if we have any.